just like that, it's the Fourth and One podcast. We are back, coming to you live from Central Pennsylvania. It's your boys, aka and Captain Boring. I'm half awake. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and you love the content we put out, or at least like it a little bit, or hate watch it. I don't know. We don't know. It's Micaiah. It's what, 5 weeks from week 0?
Yeah. I mean, it is something like maybe even less than that. It might only be like a month from week 0. It was 50 days since my birthday, and it's been 11 days since then. So we got 39 days left, something like that.
So just over a month.
And Chad Hunter, we do know ball. Just to let you know, you look like you look like a nerd on TikTok. This is your picture.
Yikes.
Straight nerd. Okay. So, not sure you know ball. Okay. You're also a Notre Dame fan. So.
That will do it. What was, shout out Brittany Hicks. What was, what the?
I can still hear you. Yeah, I can still hear you, but you are frozen. Yes.
Yeah. Love that. What was that in response to, Micaiah?
Me and Robert, we both said that we didn't understand the hype around Notre Dame and their schedule coming up, or their upcoming season. So, you still with me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So I just want to jump right in because that clip blew up on TikTok first and foremost. And Notre Dame. So Notre Dame has 11 returning starters. Jeremiah Love, who was hurt a lot of last year. Jaden Greathouse. They have a left tackle, a left guard, and a right tackle. They have 11 total returning starters. That defense is always going to be good. I'm not doubting the defense.
Yeah,
right?
Marcus Freeman has them cooking.
Right. I just said that I don't understand the hype around Notre Dame upcoming because people are having them ranked in the top 10, the top 5, because of their starting quarterback. Out goes Riley Leonard, in comes CJ Carr, highly touted, flipped from Michigan to Notre Dame. I get that. They could be really good, but also, let's just take a look at Notre Dame's schedule this year because it is absolutely brutal. Week 1, Simeon.
Yeah.
At Miami. Hard Rock. Guess
Catholics
what?
versus convicts. Let's go.
Guess what? The Hurricanes do the same thing as the Dolphins do and know which side of the end zone is the cool side because there's a cool and there's a hot side, right? Depending on the time of day.
Yeah. Hurricanes
know that. So Notre Dame's going to be baking in 120 degrees last week of August. Number 2, they returned home for a nice, easy game against Texas A&M. Okay? So those are your first 2 games with a brand new starting quarterback, a running back who, to start the season, very good, and 3 offensive pieces. But like your wide receiver, the rest of your tight ends and your wide receivers are completely brand new. Okay? They then get an easy one at home against Purdue. I will give them that one. Then they go to Fayetteville and Arkansas. SEC Stadium. Okay? Then they get Boise at home, NC State at home, USC at home. Then they go to Boston College, probably going to be much improved, I would think. Navy's always just a muckabout, tough sort of game. At Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and then finish the year at Stanford. So the end of the season's not bad. Syracuse is going to be good. Pittsburgh's going to be good. And good, I mean, I expect them to be 7 or 8 win ball clubs. So the people that Ozzy Osbourne just died, apparently. People that
RIP.
are saying we don't know ball, you're basically telling me that I said I don't understand the hype around Notre Dame football this year. Well, this is about the same amount of returning starters as Michigan had last year with a brand new quarterback, and I was hesitant on them. Now, I didn't think they would be that bad. I didn't think they would struggle with the forward pass. I thought that they would win 9 games. That's the ceiling. Vibe for a college football playoff. I was way wrong. But with this schedule, new starting quarterback, breaking in a center and a guard, breaking in all new wide receivers and a tight end, plus Jeremiah Love's backup, 5 guys. It's going to be, especially with that early slate, you might only win 8 games. You might only win 9 games. I'm expecting out of this slate only 9 win max out of Notre Dame.
So first of all, just to clarify before I comment on that, we are 4 weeks away.
Okay, great.
The first game is 12 p.m. ESPN, Avaya Stadium, probably pronouncing that incorrectly, in Dublin, Iowa State, Kansas State. Technically, Idaho and UNLV is TBD, so that game could technically go before then. Highly unlikely, but that's Saturday the 23rd. That's that first kickoff to week 0, and then you turn around and have the Thursday night games in those really long slate of kind of like week 1, week 0. I guess that would be week 1 would be the 28th. So week 0 is the 23rd.
Yeah.
So just wanted to clarify. Sorry, that's a lot sooner than I thought it was.
Yeah.
to be expected to you. Back to the Notre Dame thing. I think if Michigan last year taught us anything, it was the fact that quarterback play is so important, especially for these big name schools. I will give Notre Dame some credit in the fact that they actually finally scheduled tough conference games, because I think what we saw last year for Notre Dame is they kind of got to a point where they ran into some issue when it came to teams who have played harder games earlier in the season, i.e. they were in the championship last year. Was Notre Dame, Ohio State, or were they in the semis?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yep. In the finals, you got it right.
They were in the final against Ohio State, and Ohio State had that Michigan game, and then they had the rest of the playoffs that they had to get through, and they were hard games they had to fight through, and Notre Dame just kind of came in and handled. They got SMU. Am I remembering that correctly? No, that was Penn State. Who did they get? Their home game.
Indiana.
Which again, Indiana ran into the same issue, and Indiana is doubling down, or is it Louisville that's canceling? Someone canceled a home and home.
No, you're right. Indiana basically took all Power 5 schools off their schedule for like the next 5 years.
Yep, they canceled and they bought people out, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, so you're right. I just really want people to realize and people to remember, and Notre Dame fans to remember, I'm not taking a shot. Your program is very good. Marcus Freeman's an excellent coach. Your defense is going to be pretty good. But I want you to remember last year you lost to Northern Illinois because that offense early in that year with a new starting quarterback, brand new starting quarterback, struggled early, right? Brand new starting quarterback. CJ Carr's now been in the system, so it's a little different. And he's had a spring ball, so he's a little bit more progressed. But a first-time college starter, we're not going to break down the Big Ten today, and we're not going to do over or under wins of the Big Ten. But when it comes to Michigan, right? I think the talent's there for Michigan and some of the upgrades that they got, especially at quarterback, they got some wide receiver upgrades, running back upgrades. That defense is always going to be good. I don't know, but I would assume Michigan's over under somewhere around 8.5, 9.5. I would almost have to take the under because I don't know what Underwood's going to do. Underwood is getting generational glaze. He's a cheat code in college football 26. He's amazing, but he is just getting generational glaze where people think he's going to come in immediately and just fix the Michigan football program. I hope he does, but there's going to be bumps in the road with first-time starters on the road in Miami against an experienced Carson Beck and Mario Cristobal. And Miami, if nothing else, is good early in the season. Bad late, good early. They haven't been bad late. They've been mediocre late. Good early. A&M's looking for revenge at home, and then you get an easy one in Purdue. So,
isn't that technically a rivalry game for them?
Yes.
Isn't that how that works?
It could be very easily. Notre Dame is starting off 0-2 to start the season, and Marcus Freeman is on the hot seat, even though he shouldn't be. Right?
Or to his credit, it's the exact opposite. They're starting 1-1 or 2-0, and everyone's going, "Oh, Notre Dame is the real deal this year."
But historically, looking at it, Marcus Freeman, they lost to Marshall,
yeah,
and they lost to Northern Illinois. they're going to drop a game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying against someone they shouldn't, but they're going to drop at least one game. With this schedule, I'm going to say at least 3 games. I think they go 1-1. I think they split Miami, Texas A&M. I think they lose at Fayetteville. And then I think either USC, Boston College, Pittsburgh get them. And then I think they lose to Syracuse. So you're looking
Syracuse
at
transfer in
8-9 wins. I think it's a homegrown guy. I actually don't know the starting quarterback of Syracuse.
The only reason I bring that up is because I assume someone transferred in. For those of you keeping track, kind of the new thing today is referred to as BYU. I don't know his actual name.
Yeah, it's just like no one transferred in. It'll be someone in
it'll be a homegrown for Syracuse.
Yeah, Ricky Collins is their projected starter.
What's the guy's name that just transferred to Tulane? BYU's guy. Who used to be BYU?
Oh my goodness!
I don't want to call him BYU because it's somewhat derogatory, but not really.
I mean, college game day did a whole thing. Jake Retzlaff.
Thank you. He transferred to Tulane after I believe Tulane's quarterback transferred to South Carolina. Duke. Okay, Duke. I thought it was. I was going to go Missouri. Nope, that's
Bo Perbula transferred there. We did the SEC last week, so if you would have listened to last week's episode, we had that covered.
For those of you who actually care about my life, which is like 3 of you, I had my child last week, 2 weeks ago, and was not able to make it to the podcast last week. But here I am.
Trying to do some more engagement things. So if you made it this far in the video, or if you're listening on Spotify, if you see this clip, if this ends up being a clip, comment down below. What do you think Notre Dame's final record will be?
Great question.
I gave you the schedule. I will give it real quickly once again. At Miami, Texas A&M, Purdue. At Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC. At Boston College, Navy. At Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and at Stanford. Comment down below. Go to the YouTube page. Comment if this is a clip. Comment. I don't know what Opus Clips is going to clip. Plug for Opus. Sponsor us. Go to the YouTube page. Let us know what Notre Dame's record's going to be.
Makai, one thing I want to get your comment on here real quick is the ACC is to release availability reports before conference games. This is from David Hale on ESPN. This means that 48 hours before all conference games in the football seasons, the conference will require all schools to submit an NFL-style report categorizing players as available, questionable, or doubtful, or out. Updates both before the game and 2 hours before kickoff. They say the guy, the conference chairman, whatever that title is, says that it's intended to counter a push by gamblers to gain inside information.
Before you said that, I said this has to be a bet because that's why the NFL does it, right? Fantasy football. The only reason the probable, well, now it's probable, doubtful, and out. Those are the two. Like they took away the questionable in the NFL. So, but they did it because of fantasy football. We're only going to see this more and more now that gambling and now the players get paid. Excuse me.
There it is.
We're only going to see this more and more to try to, again, curb inside information, curb people harassing players online. Even though that's going to happen, I'm sure people are reaching out. You're going to play this week. Starting quarterback, they go to the starting quarterback, Julian Sand, and blowing up his DM. You're going to play this week because if you do, I'm taking you. If you don't, I'm, fading you guys or whatever. So this is definitely trying to protect the athlete a little bit, but also I would have to hope that this is just protecting the athlete a little bit and the conference to help the influx of degenerate gamblers that will be coming this fall,
including somewhat us. Don't like that transition, but hey, here we are. Robert gave us, who's unable to be here due to ear surgery.
It's freaking tinnitus, man. first of all, let's just get into this because he's not here to defend himself. Like, how dumb you gotta be to go to a NASCAR race without ear protection.
Hey, listen, Makai, they're going real fast and real left.
I understand that, but like, does he not want to hear later in life? And his quote to me in Robert fashion is, "Listen, man, I'm a pussy, but I'm not that big of a pussy." And my thing is I'm 100% that big of a pussy. I'm doing earplugs and then ear muffs over top of that.
Dude, when my kid cries too much and I'm trying to like change him or something, and I have earmuffs over me. Like, I bought him earmuffs and he's 3 weeks old for church.
Oh, I was like, you bought him earmuffs for himself?
No, I have earmuffs for me that I'm using. Like,
listen, I'm half deaf as it is right now.
That's my thought process as well. Listen, they go real fast, they go real left, no matter if you give yourself hearing damage or if you don't give yourself hearing damage. And I would suggest not getting yourself hearing damage.
But hey, that's just us. Robert,
that's
you
our
do
opinion.
You. Boo boo.
Boo boo. All right, so he gave us some start, bench, cut, defense, and not position.
Yeah, it's just defense.
Teams. So this is a real big fantasy football vibes.
So this is part of our all 4th and 1 team.
Yes.
So I don't know if you were here when we made that decision. So what we are doing to catch people up is we are doing an all 4th and 1 team that we will during the season give you updates on our team to see how they are performing during the season. Basically, we're doing fantasy football with no points assigned or anything. So far, our quarterback is Garrett Nussmeier.
Shout out.
Our 2 running backs are Katron Allen and Desmond Reed. Desmond Reed is real fun to play with on the video game, by the way.
Nice.
Our wide receivers, we have 3 of them. We have Jeremiah Smith, obviously. I took Ryan Williams, and then I also took Nick Harbor.
I was not here for the wide receiver. I don't know. Robert was real. He was real bullish on, or not bullish, the opposite of bullish on Jeremiah Smith, right?
Ryan Williams. He loves Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. They're the same dude.
So early in the season, Ryan Williams was fantastic, right? His midair body control reminded me of Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah.
But then second half of the season, he really, really fell off. In the losses, he was not good at all. I think in like the last 4 games, we looked it up, he had like 25 yards, 50 yards, it all well below 100. So, I think now Robert did say last week that some of this is on Jalen Milroe because the Bama offense took a giant step back the last kind of 4 weeks. But I am very interested to see if Ryan Williams was just a 17-year-old phenom for 4 games and now he's gonna come back to earth, or if he is in fact elite.
So we can't.
I think he is.
Okay, I'm just looking at his box scores here real quick. We're gonna throw out the Michigan game. I know as Michigan fans we like to say, "Yeah, look at us. We beat Alabama with 2 different head coaches in the same calendar year, blah blah blah." Yeah, great, right. Awesome. The game was rainy.
We beat you with backups. Fantastic.
Yeah, the game was rainy, bad conditions. It was a defensive game. It had our defense not played the way that they did. Didn't they score 2 touchdowns basically? So like,
I mean, we set up we had 4 turnovers on the Alabama side of the field, right? Like.
Yeah,
our defense won us the game. 100%.
Yes. So we're throwing that out. So let's look at the loss to Oklahoma away. He had 2 wrecks for 37 yards.
They did take away a 50-yard touchdown in that game.
Yeah, no tutty. Longest was 30. So one of those was out of the 37 of those yards, one of them was a 37. I don't think where we're at in football in general in 2025, really in the 2020s, is not this Randy Moss era of players putting up ridiculous stat lines, specifically wide receivers putting up ridiculous stat lines. We are now at the point of the 2 wide receiver system, even to the point where there's 3. Think T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, think Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. Just 2
Justin
examples.
Jefferson. Sure.
Justin Jefferson. Oh my gosh, Addison Mitchell.
Yeah, Jordan Addison.
I'm sorry. That's the era that we're in, and I'd be interested. Do you know who played opposite him last year?
Who? Which one?
Ryan Williams.
No,
I don't know players well enough to know who.
But that's kind of your point, right?
My point is, I'm looking here, like you said, the first, call it 1, 2, 3, 4 games, 139, 78, 177, 82, and then he goes down in their win against Missouri to 53. It was still a win against Missouri. We're acting like probably teams had to start playing against him. And I get that he's a 17-year-old phenom for those first 4 games and then kind of falls off. But to your point, Micaiah, Milroe shouldn't have come out this year into the draft. He was a sucky quarterback as far as Alabama goes. No, I don't know why this guy left college. He's underdeveloped, to say the least.
I think he ran out of eligibility.
Wasn't he a junior?
I don't know. That's a good question. I thought that he was a senior, but because he started 2 years and then he was on. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe he was a redshirt. Maybe he was a redshirt junior and he had another year. He
fought last year, 2 years ago for his. Yeah, he's 22. He should still have another year of eligibility. Yeah, he was only there for 3 years, 21 to 24.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe not, but with Nick Saban leaving, he definitely should have had another year of eligibility, if I'm remembering the eligibility rules correctly.
Well, and then they got screwed up with COVID. He was
2021, so he wouldn't have had the COVID rules.
Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how that new guy that they have down there develops and how Kalen DeBoer is kind of that QB guy. If they throw the ball around a little bit more, how he's going to do. I just think
with Ty Simpson, sure.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to compare him to. Sorry, I have to pull up my list because I'm not good with names and anyone who's here. Jeremiah Smith, when that Ohio offense, especially under Chip Kelly, was just so pass happy. I
agree. That's why I said I'll be interested to see this year because I have seen a lot of things.
Robert pissed me off when he said that.
Clearly, Robert pissed you off. He pissed you off more than he pissed me off for once. I think that I've seen a lot of people who know Alabama football and specifically know Kalen DeBoer say last year's offense was not the type of offense Kalen DeBoer wants to run.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer, like his last year in Washington, that's the type of offense he wants to run, which is 4 wide receiver sets, a tight end, and a running back, and it's beautiful deep ball. You know, it's a lot of creativity.
It's Washington.
It's Washington
national championship.
From the national champion.
That was a really good
team.
Yeah, that was a really good offense. Okay, I'm gonna stop before we waste way too much time on this.
Okay,
you still have to break down the Big Ten for me.
No, we're not doing the Big Ten today.
There's 4 weeks left.
Yeah, we'll get into the Big
Ten. We've
done
2 conferences.
No, we've been doing conferences this whole time since you've been gone, my dude. The Big Ten's all that's left.
Oh, is it?
Yep, we did the SEC, we did the ACC. I'm looking at it right here. We
did the Big 12. I was here for the Big
12. We did the ACC the week after. You missed that. You missed the SEC.
Yep.
Big Ten's all that's left. And then I wanted to touch on Notre Dame, but we just did them today. So
okay. I mean, well, we'll talk on the American after this. Okay.
We got 4 weeks. We got plenty of time.
The annoying part about the whole recalibration, not what it's called, realignment.
Yeah.
Is I feel like we have to talk about the group of 6 teams now a little bit more.
Sure.
Especially with the Pac-12 rebirthing the Pac-8, coming back. But who knows? There's enough football to go around. All right. So we got 4. Robert gave us 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, can count. Great. With 4 teams in them, pick 2 move on, and then it's down the bracket. We go. Micaiah, I'm just going to give these all to you.
Okay.
Because you kind of know a little bit more what's going on. Very interesting group here. We're going to go with we'll call it the Blue Bloods here. Ohio State, Georgia, A&M, that's Texas, not Carolina, and Nebraska.
Nebraska. So I'm the thing.
And you're going to have to keep track of the teams you're picking. I'm going to give you that. That's your one job.
Okay, that's fine. I have to look up number of returning start, and this is start bench cut. So I'm taking the starter, and
we're doing a tournament style, so you're really just taking 2 from this round.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually take Texas A&M because Texas A&M has 8
defensive coach
returning starters and a defensive coach. They're returning a D line, 2 linebackers, and then almost their entire secondary, 2 corners and 3 safeties. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take A&M. I then am going to also take Georgia strictly because of Kirby Smart. Only reason, hard stop, no other. Nebraska does have 4. So Nebraska has 4 returning starters. Ohio State and Georgia both have 3 returning starters on defense. I'm just going to take the acumen of Kirby Smart. Love me or hate me for it, and take Georgia. But A&M's my starter. Georgia's my backup. Ohio State, Matt Patricia, don't believe in him at all. Absolutely not. Don't believe in him at all. He was with the exact same Philly squad that was dead last. He couldn't improve them, and then Vic Fangio comes in with no additions and just makes them fantastic. Matt Patricia had Belichick, rode his coattails, went to Detroit. Like, Matt Patricia, I don't think is very good, but we'll see. And then Nebraska, I don't trust anything out of Nebraska until they prove it to me at this point.
Real interesting here. I was looking at A&M's schedule because I was just curious. Their non-conference games, they're playing Utah State. I know you went over this last week. UTSA and Samford, not Stanford. Their payouts for those are 1.65. They're paying UTSA, that's Utah State. They're paying UTSA about 1.5, and they're paying Samford $550K. So, knowing them, they'll lose one of those games. Probably not to the UTSA Roadrunners, though, because that's a home game opening weekend against Kyle Field. All right. So, Georgia, Mackay, great picks. Great picks all around.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. This is an interesting one. Texas, Bama, Oregon, and Army.
So very, very easily, because I was looking up returning starters. I went to explain this and then I didn't. So what I look for in defenses is returning starters. Yeah. Because on defense, you need to play as a unit and a team, and you need that cohesion. So I want the cohesion. And this is very simple to me. Texas has 6 returning starters on defense. Bama has 8. Yeah. Oregon has 3, and Army isn't even on this CBS Sports thing. So I love me some Army, and they're going to play as a unit. I just think that they're undersized. Give me Texas and Bama. If I have to go in order, give me Bama, then Texas.
Really? Over Oregon? Perennial favorite at this point.
Oregon, according to this, has 3 returning starters.
Yeah, the only reason I bring this up is because
Mateo Uiagalelei, Bryce.
Related?
Yes.
Okay.
Brother. They're all the linebackers, the 2 outside linebackers and the inside linebackers.
That's a huge deal,
and that's
though.
It.
But the linebacker position tends to be that leadership position on the defense.
Mateo may be the defensive player of the year. He is very good.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. We always think about, and we said this last year, we always think about Oregon as that Chip Kelly has this in our head as this run first, fast action, offensive, high flying, quack school.
Nice.
And we forgot that last year, their defense played a huge role in getting them to where they went.
Understand, but if you're going to give me a team that has 8 returning starters, and their name is Alabama, and the type of athletes they're going to recruit, I'm going to take them over Oregon. And Texas at this point is the same way.
Yeah. No, I'm just playing devil's advocate
No,
for content.
I get it. Also, last
quick
time I saw
question.
Oregon's defense, Jeremiah Smith was wide open. So, I mean, no one within
But
20
you also have to remember
yards.
they also held Ohio State beat Ohio State earlier that year.
No, that was yeah, but again, that year they allowed 30-some points to that team.
To Ohio State.
Yeah, it was like 31-32 was the final.
And Ohio State allowed one more point than Oregon did. Like, what do you want from me? This points per game nonsense. If a game is equal, then it doesn't matter how many points are scored.
You're right. It's an outdated metric, and Ohio State
It's not a complete outdated metric. If you're allowing 31 points a game and you can only put up 14, hey, maybe your defense sucks a little bit, but so does your offense, you know? Quick question. Justin Herbert, Oregon, or Marcus Mariota, Oregon?
Marcus Mariota, Oregon.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Call me nostalgic, but that offense was one of the best college offenses I've ever seen. Is that LeGarrette
Blount, or is that before?
That was either LeGarrette Blount may have been just before. That was his last name was James. Oh my goodness, he was so good.
He's that guy who came out and then got injured right away and basically fell to nothing.
Yeah.
Poor dude. Poor running backs. Dude, running backs have it the hardest. And then you got to adjust to real life after you leave college sports. You're in front of 100,000 people, millions watching every day, and then you have to go become a car salesman or something like that.
By the way, Oregon only has 5 total returning starters, and one of them, Evan Stewart, may not play this season.
Yeah, but didn't they go heavy in the recruiting?
Oregon's always going to go heavy in recruiting, yes.
I mean, they went heavy recruiting, but also got a bunch of transfers in, if I'm remembering correctly.
But, again, cohesion. Okay. You need it.
Here's probably your toughest pick as far as I go. Michigan, Notre Dame, the Big Spendas in Texas Tech, and Iowa.
So Notre Dame's got 6. Michigan has 5. You said Iowa?
Iowa. This, to me...
Iowa has 5. Wow, this actually one is a good one.
And Texas Tech has what, 5?
And Texas Tech has 7.
Texas Tech has that many returning starters?
Yeah.
After how much money they spend on transfers?
Yeah.
That's the surprising part.
They have 12 total. They have 7 on defense, 5 on offense. So...
They spent a lot of money.
So I'm going to go with the programs that have shown me to have good defenses year in, year out over the last 5 years, and that's Notre Dame and Michigan. At this point, I would give probably the edge to Notre Dame, but both their play callers are returning. Michigan's defense last year was the best in the country. The last 4 weeks of the season, including the bowl game, was the best in the country.
Again, we have to throw out the bowl game, but I do have to. I'm going to glaze a little bit here. Wink for watching the first however many games, called 8 games. The defense looked shaky, not as explosive as 2023's did. And so we're watching them, and I'm going, I don't know if this guy's it. He didn't seem to have confidence. And then those last 4 games, he seemed to figure something out, especially against Alabama, and again, we're throwing Alabama out because of the rain, but especially because Alabama and especially Ohio State.
So I think what Wink, and I don't know, but I think what Wink figured out is sometimes in college, your players are just better. Like in the NFL, you got to manufacture pressure. And I think what he figured out in college is, no, sometimes the players are just outright better. A group and a skill position set is better. They got Derek Moore returning. They got TJ Guy returning on the other side. Jay-Sean Barnum, Eric Hausman, Zeke Berry, and Jair Hill. So they got veterans all over that defense. I think it'll be a very fun and entertaining defense. And then Notre Dame's defense, even in the down years, have been very good. And they're returning 2 linebackers, 2 starting corners, and a safety. I think Notre Dame will be very good as well.
So you're picking Michigan and Notre Dame.
I am picking Michigan. So far I've picked A&M, Georgia, Texas, Bama, Michigan, Notre Dame.
Okay. Last group, and then we move on to the semis. Ole Miss, Penn State.
They're out immediately. They return two starting. They're out immediately.
Also, you don't hear Ole Miss and go, they're known for their defense.
Last year they were pretty good, but I mean,
Penn
they
State,
could be good this year. But
Clemson and Tennessee.
So Penn State's returning 5. If I can type, Clemson is returning 8, and Tennessee. So Clemson's going to be 100%. I'm going to go Clemson and Tennessee.
Interesting.
Penn State breaking in a new defensive coordinator. Ohio State's defensive coordinator last year comes over, highest paid assistant coach. Here's what I will say. Good defensive coordinator.
Jim Knowles?
Jim Knowles, thank you, Simeon. That's what I was looking at.
I wasn't sure if he was the guy who left or not.
First year at Ohio State, it was rocky until the players kind of bought. It was almost like a Wink Martindale situation. It was okay, but it was rocky. And then his last 2 years, the defense settled in and really understood what's going to happen. I expect that with Penn State. Penn State does have 5 returning starters, so I do think that there's talent there. But I think first-year coordinator, going to be a little rocky. Give me Clemson, Tom Allen coming in, again, who was Penn State's defensive coordinator last year. So again, new coordinator, but they got 8 returning starters. I'm going to take people with more returning starters, so give me Clemson and Tennessee there.
Cool. All right, semis. We're picking 2 defenses.
Okay.
You guys picked Georgia's O-line last week. Am I seeing that correctly?
We did. I took Georgia's O-line.
Cool. Who did they beat? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, that's
I think Iowa and Navy were in there at one point. So I was all over. I didn't even look up returning stars last week. I'm just like, here you go. Sure.
All
whatever.
Right. So Georgia, A&M, Texas, Bama.
And then I'm taking 2 from this group.
Yep.
I'm gonna take A&M. I love Mike Elko and what he does. 8 returning starters, and then I'm gonna take Bama as well. Just returning. It goes back to the returning starters thing. There are things I like about defenses, and one of them is high number of returning starters. So they both have 8. Give me those 2 teams.
Okay. Michigan, Notre Dame, Clemson, Tennessee. Is that who you picked?
Yeah. Give me Clemson because they also have 8.
Yeah.
And then I think Tennessee has like 7. Tennessee has 7. And then it was Michigan, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Michigan has 5 and Notre Dame has 6. Give me Clemson and Tennessee.
Interesting. I would have picked, I think, Notre Dame off of that list, but you're doing the returners thing.
I'm also trying not to be
thing.
I'm also trying not to be a homer, right? Because I really want to pick Michigan because I really think their defense is going to be really good. But give me the returning starters. It's like my quarterback thing, right? You know how we surprised Robert with my starting quarterback?
Yeah.
I want lots of starts in my starting quarterback. I want veterans.
Apparently, he was the only one who I thought he was really good against USC, but that's just me.
Garrett Nussmeier?
Yeah.
He was, and then he fell off late in the year.
Welcome to LSU. Okay, so I have to remember that.
I'm just letting you know. 100,000 LSU fans just went, finally, someone gets it. Dude,
LSU is
so tortured.
They are cursed to go 11-1, and that one game is the only game that matters.
Do you know the last time LSU won their week 1 game?
2019?
Yeah, when Joe Burrow was their quarterback. They haven't won a week 1 game.
When they had an NFL caliber offense.
To their credit, they have scheduled Florida State twice. They get Clemson this year. They scheduled you like they're not scheduling cupcake games like Michigan's Arkansas State.
I'd rather watch an LSU game than an Indiana game.
I don't like. You can say LSU fans,
now I'm getting nostalgic.
haters, whatever,
come on, dude.
can say LSU, they've got to win week 1. Brian Kelly's pounding his table, being like, "We're going all in on week 1. Going all in on week 1." Who cares? You're playing a quality opponent. You're always playing quality opponent these last 6 years. You're playing quality opponents. Win, lose, draw, who cares? It's about how you finish. The week 1 loss has never hurt this team in rankings. It's been the week 9,
8.
10, 11, 8. The ones later in the year that they just can't win. That's what you need to focus on. Who cares about if you
and they
walk
don't
in
look good losing those games.
You walk
either.
into Death Valley.
Yeah.
The real Death Valley, fake Death Valley, because it's the battle of the Tigers and the naming rights for Death Valley.
Go Tigers.
Right, go Tigers. And you lose to Clemson by 55. I don't care. I would walk into Clemson and lose by 55 too. Michigan walks into Clemson tomorrow, loses by 55. Like a lot of people will walk into Clemson and lose. Who cares? It's about week 2 through 12 for LSU, and you gotta win them. You got to win the games late in the year if you're LSU. Sorry, I digress. I don't know.
You're good. You're going to have to help me
I'm somehow defending schools that I don't even like. I don't even know how this is possible.
Hey, LSU is... Listen, you could be a Bama. Okay. You're going to have to help me. I think it was A&M, Bama.
It was A&M, Bama, yeah.
Clemson, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your final.
I love me some Mike Elko. Mike Elko. Give me Mike Elko.
Texas.
And then
agriculture and mechanical.
Okay. So Mike Elko and A&M is going to be 1. Clemson has 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebacker, and 3 secondary players. Bama has a defensive lineman, 3 linebackers, 1, 2, 3, and 4 secondary players. And then who was the other one? Tennessee. Tennessee is 7 right behind them, has 1, 2 defensive, 2 linebackers, and 3 secondary players. I'm going to take Clemson because they have 2 interior defensive line, an edge rusher, 2 linebackers, and then 3 secondary. So they just give me more secondary players. And I think Dabo will make sure that defense is reasonable. If anything else, is reasonable.
Yeah.
I did hear it. It went
good. No, I was going to say that I feel like that squad hasn't necessarily been the same since Brent Venables left, but I think they'll bounce back.
Dude,
right?
You're right. You're right. Oh, you know what I saw today that I am not getting enough credit for? Oklahoma. I didn't realize they're returning 12 people. So the offense is going to, but Brent Venables and that defense, apparently it was good late. Alabama, most notably, late in the year. They're returning 1, 2, 3 defensive linemen, a linebacker, and 2 secondary players. They're returning 6 guys on offense.
Well,
that Michigan-Oklahoma game, I did not put enough respect on Oklahoma. I thought that Michigan would go in there and get a hard-fought win. I'm thinking Michigan may lose this one in Norman now.
They got the Washington State quarterback, correct?
John Mateer, yes.
Wow, I do pay attention sometimes.
Wow, yeah. Maybe you should go on sabbatical more often.
Hey, listen, I'm still paying attention. I'm just not physically here. All right, let's talk Big Ten.
Okay.
So not too much has changed for the Big Ten this year after some reshuffling, obviously, with the Pac-12 teams coming on board or the ex-Pac-12 teams coming on board. We last year didn't get too much surprises out of them. Michigan, the biggest one actually being Michigan, probably upsetting Ohio State. Oregon dominated kind of all the way through until the end. Ohio State came back and won the national championship, which was a hard fought. That was a good the good culture change. I can't necessarily tell you how much the coaching carousel turned over. I don't think head coaching wise, too many people left, got fired. I think it was mostly coordinators. Makai, does that sound about right?
Yeah, the Big Ten didn't have too many new coaches. I'm looking it up. So Franklin, Ferentz, Bielema's still there, Loxley, Lanning. Wow, this is way too Big Ten coaches. 2025. Google's giving me like Tom Osborne. Only one new head coach, and that's Barry Odom at Purdue.
Okay, that's what I was trying to remember. I thought
you are
Purdue,
right. It was a lot of coordinators.
Yeah, they fired Ryan Walters after the 1-11 season.
Did you just look that up, or did you?
ChatGPT, baby.
Okay, all right.
And they hired Barry Odom. I like this. Big Ten hot seat, Maryland. Mike Loxley.
Yeah.
Really, after Tua's brother left, I'm forgetting his first name.
Talia
Tungavailoa left. Horrible 4-8 season. I think they got kind of reloaded with some transfers. I believe they fired their head coach? ?
Who?
Not their head coach. Their offensive coordinator. Their co-offensive coordinator, if I'm remembering correctly, in Maryland. Sorry.
I'll look it up as you keep talking.
Because they had two guys. I think the other guy did something illegal, and now it's just the guy who was Harbaugh's offensive coordinator, then left because he wanted more money and went to Miami, sucked at Miami, and now is at Maryland.
No, they hired Pep Hamilton to be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, well, there you go. So they fired both of them. So Maryland 4-8 in 2024. They obviously Loxley remains in place for 2025. Interested to see what they do down there in College Park. A hard place to recruit is Maryland because it's like DMV, but you're kind of fighting like the South schools, North Carolina, Duke, Clemson. You're fighting a lot heavy Penn State, Ohio State.
Stop right there. Penn State, that's who they're fighting. James Franklin is going into Maryland territory and just
even
stealing
Michigan.
Everyone. Yeah.
Listen, if you're Maryland, and I get it's 2025 and you're a state school, you're not this like big name. Like kind of Penn State has this, we're the only like state school in NPA sort of situate. And that's who I was thinking of. Yeah. Thank you. Like Maryland, you either have to go all in on transfer or figure out how to stop people stealing your recruits.
Yeah.
Like one or the other. You gave good players. Even Michigan gets guys from Maryland every once in a while. They have Luke Fickell, Wisconsin, third season, 5-7 last year.
Mm-hmm.
That everyone, including myself, thought that he was going to be the savior and finally get Wisconsin over the Big Ten West. You know, they're not that anymore. Hump, and finally get past Iowa and finally get past Nebraska, and then nope, didn't after taking the Cincinnati Bearcats to the college football playoff.
So here is when he took that job, right?
Yeah.
Me and Robert were like, perfect.
Yeah.
Cincinnati guy, Midwest guy coming in because Luke Fickell was at Cincinnati. Before that, Ohio State. Midwest guy coming into a Midwest program to reinstill the true Midwestian of Wisconsin. Big boy football, running the ball, playing great defense. Like that just was lost at Wisconsin. He then went out and hired, at the time, North Carolina's offensive coordinator, Phil Longo. Phil Longo is a power air raid guy, which means he wants power run and vertical shots. And it was the exact opposite identity of Wisconsin at the time. It's like when Michigan went from Lloyd Carr to Rich Rodriguez. It was a completely like change of culture, right? Now, if I believe Rich Rodriguez would have gone if Rich Rodriguez was at Michigan and done that in 2025, he would have been able to reload with his transfers because a lot of it was he had to redo the entire roster. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So now he brings in Jeff Grimes, who was the offensive coordinator at Kansas, Baylor, and BYU.
Yeah.
He was hired in December, most notably at Kansas. So I still think that the identity of Wisconsin is not spread system. It is pound you up front with the big maulers, the running backs, and play great defense. But here's the other thing. Luke Fickell's a defensive coach, and that defense has not been performing well at all.
Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at other coordinators leaving to listen, Wisconsin's going to be one of the he's gone at the end of this. If he doesn't make a bowl game, at least
he's
not.
He's 13-13 in 2 seasons.
You got to give me at least a winning, like a 10-3. If you give me a 10-3, you're going to stay on. But like, there's no reason you're Wisconsin. You're the only game in town. This was my point. Minnesota, who's like your rival, right, has lost a coordinator every year since 2022. So I get it, it's 3 years,
right?
But they can't keep guys, and they're keeping their. I don't even know what his record was last year. What the Golden Gophers' records was last year. I don't think it was winning either. But they're keeping, and I'm forgetting his name, and that's bugging me.
PJ Fleck.
PJ Fleck. You got to do better than Minnesota. You're the only two. You're the only two people there in the Midwest, in North Dakota, South Dakota. All the way over to Idaho, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Up until a point, you were easily be able to recruit into Indiana and Illinois, and now what's happening? So this is on you, 100%. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. So that's the changes, the coaching changes for the Big Ten. Makai, I'm not sure how exactly you want to go on this. I'm assuming we're going to go kind of over-under again like we have for the rest of it.
So we're doing the Big Ten. Okay. Well, I didn't think we were doing the Big Ten today, so I did not come prepared. However,
I thought I thought that was on the. We can do it next week. I don't care. We can.
Yeah. Like I'm just not prepared. So if we want to do it next week, that's fine.
Let's just do it next week. We're
right,
giving you a little teaser.
Yeah. Great.
I do want to, since we're giving you a little teaser, Micaiah, do we think this is the year that Michigan State can finally get? I saw a highlight of Derrick Henry stiff arming. I don't know who it was. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That was that year. That was the Surrender Cobra year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was
for Michigan. Speaking of teams that have underproduced and are used to a high level of results. Michigan State, Sparty, up north, little brother up north. They brought in Jeremiah Smith from Oregon State last year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. My understanding is that, if my remembrance is, they underperformed last year again.
Wait, did you just say Jeremiah Smith?
No, that's the wrong
Jonathan
name.
Smith.
Jonathan Smith.
I don't know what you said, but I heard.
I did say Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, that's a wide receiver. They didn't bring in him. They brought in Jonathan Smith. So,
they brought in,
and I think they were 5-7 last year, maybe. But
that checks out.
To answer your question, Michigan State's got 9 returning starters. He will eventually right the ship. It's just what level, because Michigan State has never been a program to get the high level recruits.
Yeah.
They had a few years in there with D'Antoni where they were really good and they would recruit and get good quarterback play. They had Cook, they had Kirk Cousins, they had good quarterback play. Aiden Childs is returning. He was with Smith at Oregon State, now follows him to Michigan State. I just think that with the additional teams in there, and I want to look at Michigan State's schedule, I just think that they are still a year away. So they have Western Michigan, then they have Boston College. Boston College is no sleepwalk team. Then they have Youngstown State. So let's just say they open 3-0, right? I'll be nice, and they'll open 3-0. They then have to go to USC, and I want it known, and it's a trend that that the internet will be following. When Big Ten schools had to go more than 2 time zones that direction, they lost. When they all had to go west by 2 time zones, there were no winners there. So Michigan State's got to go to USC, probably improved USC team.
Let's just hope. Talk about someone who's going to be on the hot seat if they're not.
They got to go to Nebraska. Again, Matt Rule, probably much improved Dylan Raiola, Robert's Lord and Savior.
What is that? Year 3? Is Matt Rule's year 3?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, year 2 Matt Rule normally bounces back. Year 3 Matt Rule, hello.
So then they get UCLA. That's a dub. Michigan State's better. Indiana is not the Indiana pass. That might be a loss. Then they get the big brother at home. That was a close game last year when Michigan couldn't complete a forward pass and Donovan Edwards had to throw a touchdown to save the game. Then they get Minnesota, toss up. Penn State probably lost. Iowa, I'm just going to assume a loss because Iowa will be better. And then Maryland, that's a win. So
neutral site, Detroit.
So Sparty's looking at 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 500. And I think they were 5-7 last year. Well, I have it right here, so let me see here.
Yeah, they were 5-7 last year.
They were 5-7. So it's a game better. I think Sparty's a year away yet.
Well, there you go. Before we leave you, we want to talk real quick. Lots of changes happening. Like little odds and ends. People confirming, getting transferred in. I just saw Steve Sarkisian telling Texas coaches, hey, guys, stay in the recruiting process. Head coaches for high school. Sorry if I didn't say that. Stay in the recruiting process. It's important that you're a part of that. But most importantly, that American Athletic Conference is no longer the American Athletic Conference. They are now just the American Conference.
I definitely thought there was an American Conference in basketball.
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe in like a different division.
Is there a school called American?
There's American University in DC, if that's what you're thinking of.
That is what I'm thinking of.
I forget what conference they're part of. They're D1, I'm pretty sure in that.
Yeah.
So, is this the start of? Is this really the start of? Like we heard the ACC, they've been having issues. They seem to have kind of quieted down. Big Ten told the NCAA to go pound sand regarding Michigan.
Yeah, that was big. That was absolutely big because this is now the Big Ten is starting to operate a little more like the SEC, where the commissioner will just defend the teams against the NCAA. They're finally starting to catch up to the SEC in both recruiting, national titles, obviously, and now coaching as well. But now the commissioner backing them. Like Greg Sankey's done such a good job in backing his schools 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that Tony Petitti now is kind of doing the same thing. This is the new mascot, by the way, for the American Conference.
It's an eagle.
This is Soar. I'm not sure why a conference needs a mascot.
Who knows?
I mean, he looks like a good hardy football player.
Listen, it helps when you have the academies in your conference.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they had a big say. Maybe it was, hey, we are America around here, you know?
Yeah, they cover a lot of it. Makai, do you have any other? I don't know what to say. I think this is just the start of like the commercialization of.
Absolutely. They're trying to get more eyeballs. They're trying to be more popular. They're trying to get recruits because TV contracts will make or break your conference.
Yeah.
And you got to keep people. Memphis has looked to leave. I don't know if you saw. Memphis offered the Big 12 $200 million to join. Said we won't take any TV revenue for the next 5 years.
SMU.
They're trying to pull an SMU. And at the end of the 5 years, if the conference subjectively believes that Memphis is bringing nothing to the conference, they could kick them out without penalty. And you know what the Big 12 said?
What's that?
No.
Really?
You got me. I don't know. Why wouldn't you want Tennessee?
Free money?
Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want free money and all that stuff. So I feel bad for Memphis because Memphis also was a contender to go to the Pac-12. But then they lost out to Texas State, I guess. But
yeah,
Memphis is trying to stay alive.
The American kind of seemed to right themselves. They seemed to do okay last year. They seemed to bring in the people they needed to and do okay. It sucks that the academies were the good schools.
Yeah, I mean, they got to get some. Memphis was carrying the conference for a little bit, and then it was Cincinnati, with
some Tulane thrown in there.
Tulane. So they'll right the ship eventually, but they need a minute, right? This is the smaller conference. Boise State had a real good year last year. We'll see if Boise State will be good this year,
This is the right song.
That's not the right outro music.
I got it.
There you go.
Can't hear it, which is great. But listen, guys, comment down below who you think is going to win the American if you've made it all the way to the bottom here. It's been the 4th and 1 podcast. We will see you probably next week to talk about the Big Ten.
Wash your hands, you filthy animals. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.
My son is bawling. I'm just going to...